Hey watch fans, Brad from Brent Miller Jewelers. And today we're going to talk a little bit about chronographs and how to use your chronograph. So I grabbed two of my favorites in stock right now. This is the Tudor Black Bay chronograph here on my left with the Panda dial, the white dial with the black subdials, and the Omega Speedmaster Sapphire. We have a sapphire crystal on the front as well as a sapphire crystal on that case back showing the gorgeous 3861 movement, manual one movement. And so grab both of these. Again, differences between these, you have an automatic watch here with a rotor underneath that solid stainless steel case back, a manual one here where we have to manually wind it. But I really wanted to keep this video focused on just the chronograph functionality and how it works. Grab these two specifically because I think they have obviously different dial layouts, and you have some different functionality with the pushers. And so I thought it'd just be good to illustrate the differences with these two models. So with this Tudor, and again, both of these have already, I just kind of set them so you could see the subdials. If you're not sure how to set an automatic watch with a chronograph, it's just like setting an automatic watch. I'll link that video, any automatic watch, I'll link that video in the description. This is really just to show you how to use your chronograph if you're not familiar with it. And so we'll start with the Tudor first. The Tudor has two subdials here. We have a subdial on the left at the 9 o'clock position, which is going to be your constantly running seconds hand. So you can see that seconds hand is moving right now. The watch does have power to it. So that subdial is not going to do anything relative to the chronograph functionality. And then here at the 3 o'clock position, we have another subdial with a 45-minute counter. And so what we'll do, not all chronographs are going to have screw down pushers. This model does. So we need to unwind our screw down pushers counterclockwise. And most of the times, these screw down pushers are going to give us extended or more water resistance, which is the case. This watch is water resistant to 200 meters. We have a screw down crown and screw down pushers compared to the Speedmaster, which I believe is 50 meters. None of them are screw down. So again, to use the chronograph, we're going to need to unscrew those so you can see now that they are up further on the pusher, where if I screw them down, you can see they come down. So all the way up. And as the watch, you want to time an event, the top pusher is going to be your start button. So your chronograph hand is at 12 o'clock right now with that red tip. So we're going to depress or depress the top pusher. And now we're timing whatever event it may be. If you're grilling something, or if you're grilling meat on the grill, or cooking anything else, you want to time it. Other folks use it for different things. Parking meters, I've heard people use chronographs for, timing, commute, whatever it may be. So 20 seconds now. We can let this run again. We can time up to 45 minutes here on this watch specifically. But say you want to stop it, you're going to stop it by pushing the same button. So we're going to push that top pusher again. It stops our chronograph hand. If we want to re-engage and continue timing, we can do that with the chronograph, again, just by pushing the top. So the top button is going to be our start, stop functionality. Again, I'm going to stop it here at 40. And now I want to reset it. I'm done. I want to start over. The bottom pusher is going to reset that and bring it back to 12. And then if I want to start again, I can do that. Some folks prefer leaving their pushers unscrewed here on the screw down one so they can always use it. They don't have to worry about it. I will say if you are planning on going in the water or getting it wet, you want to make sure you have these screwed down if the option is there on your chronograph. So again, we're going to tighten those back up. So that is the Tudor Black Bay chronograph with screw down push buttons. The Omega Speedmaster are a little bit different. Obviously, you can see we have nothing to unscrew here, as well as the crown itself does not screw down, so a little less water resistant. However, we have 3 subdials on this model. We have a constantly running seconds hand, just like we did on the Tudor at 9 o'clock. We have I'm going to pull this out so you can see this a little bit better on the subdial. We have a 30-minute counter compared to 45-minute counter on the Tudor. A 30-minute counter here at 3. And then we also have a 12-hour counter at the 6 o'clock position, where we didn't have an hour counter on the Tudor. So really it comes down to functionality or practicality, I guess I should say, is what do you want your chronograph for? If you're like me, it's usually aesthetics. I've owned chronographs, and most of the time I end up not really using them all that often. Just the way the dial looks and the way it's balanced. So both look great. But on the Omega, if you want to time things into 12 hours, this will be a better watch probably for that purpose than the Tudor. So again, you can see my seconds hand's running here, so I have power to the movement. Top button's going to start my chronograph hand. as this would rotate around 1 minute, 2 minutes, you would see this smaller subdial hand move over and count up to 30 minutes. And then once you get past the 30, it would go 30 again. If it hits an hour, this would move to an hour and represent how long you're timing it into the hours, up to 12 hours. So again, I'm going to stop it. If I want to restart it again, I can simply push the top button. But to stop it again completely at 30 and reset, the bottom button for the reset. So it's the same functionality as far as start, stop from the top, reset from the bottom. As your most basic chronograph, you will get into other functionality on some chronographs, whether it be a split second, a flyback, and we'll do future videos on those specifically. But wanted to share this with you today. The last thing I'll mention before wrapping this video up is if you look at these, they both have a tachometer bezel that will allow you to time the speed over a certain distance. I'm going to do a specific video on how to use your tachometer bezel to time things. That's another video. Look for that in the near future. But if you have questions on your chronograph or how to use it, shoot me an email, brad@brentlmiller.com. Thanks for viewing, and we'll see you in the next video.